Welcome to the EpicMan Podcast, the show about the wildest news and entertainment and culture and everything else in between. I'm Josiah, and with me, my two friends and co-hosts, Ben and Mike. How are you guys doing on this fabulous Halloween day?
Doing so good.
So freaking good.
So good.
So I got to ask you guys right off the bat, because it is Halloween. Are you guys doing anything spicy for Halloween? Anything super cool or anything? Anything fun?
No.
Anything? No? Nothing?
No. Nah. No. I'm boring. I'm probably just going to watch football.
Wow. Just like a middle-aged dad.
Maybe go see a movie. I am a dad, so it's just what I do.
Wow. I'm going to put on a costume and walk around my house like I do every day.
There you go.
It's not because you are a costume. You are a costume. You just are.
I was a costume the whole time, Ben.
Exactly.
The real person.
You'll never know who. You'll never see who Mike truly is.
That's because Mike is really an imposter. Sus all the time.
Sus. Mike is always sus.
I'm an alien, and I'm just killing people one person at a time.
Sus Mike.
Well, I mean, there's not really anything planned, so that's fine.
Too cold. Like I remember when Halloween used to be warm, like 60s and stuff, and now it's like 30 degrees where we are.
Always cold. It's always cold on Halloween now. It's usually raining or something too, and it's just like it's crap. It's crap.
Raining and like 38 degrees, so it's almost snowing, and it's just like.
And like garbage. Go out and find candy when you can just literally just go to the store and buy a big bag and do that.
See, the real way to do it is go buy candy tomorrow when it's like dished down at like 60-70% off.
Yeah, exactly. That's a big brain play right there.
Big brain. All the candy you want, you don't even have to go knock on doors for it.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Except Ben likes knocking on people's doors.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
No, I mean, what you do.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, but you do.
Well, speaking of big brains and knocking on doors, we have a lot of awesome things to talk about this week.
Finally,
we have big brains and knocking on doors.
But of course, we have some very sad news to talk about this week as well. Yeah. Let's just get this right off our chest, right off the bat. Sean Connery passed away, and
today.
Yeah,
I believe,
today. And that's, I mean, he was a legend and stuff. He was a Hollywood legend. Yeah. So
I mean, the dude was such a boss. It sucks.
Oh yeah, dude. And I mean, I've always had the old Hollywood. We're slowly but surely losing so many people from what, back when Hollywood was classic and kind of awesome in a lot of ways. And it's unfortunate.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, it really sucks. I was like super bummed to hear it, and I was like, you know what, 2020 took another person. Like, why?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
But he lived a good life. He was 90 years old. So, it's more than a lot of people can ask for. So
True.
This is
especially with the life he lived too. So that's always cool. So
for sure. Yeah. For sure.
But it's not cool that he died.
No, not at all. But
just saying, Ben.
I'm saying the life he lived was cool.
I'm just blocking you from making any hot takes.
Yeah, he was in a lot of movies. What are some of your favorite movies that he was in?
Last Crusade.
I was gonna say that's got to be my favorite of his. I did enjoy him as Bond. I did like Sean Connery's Bond a lot, but Last Crusade, I just love that character, and his banter with Harrison Ford is just so good. But yeah, he's been good.
And, also, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yes,
he was so cool in that movie. Oh my gosh, that was like one of his last roles too. But yeah, I mad respect for Connery, and like you said, the Hollywood old guard. Like, we're just losing them one after another, and it's a shame, but
Yep, exactly.
Really missed.
Yep, for sure. And moving on to some other sad news to talk about that we need to talk about this week is Cyberpunk 2077 got pushed back again.
December 21st, I think.
Again,
or is it 22nd?
It's December 2077.
Accurate.
December 10th is when it's going to be coming out now. They're saying That's what
If
they
it doesn't
say.
get delayed
That's what
again.
they say.
Yeah.
They say. I do think it will actually come out. I was reading, and I don't know.
That's what we said last time, Ben.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally, Ben. That's what
I
you
know.
said last time.
I know.
You're like,
I
I,
know.
genuinely think it's going to come out.
Yeah, they won't delay it again. There's no way.
This time, I'm pretty sure it's going to come out.
See, the thing
Pretty
is,
sure.
I actually don't really care that they pushed it back again, because
Yeah.
I already like November is already looking pretty stacked for me for games. So I was
Right.
like, eek, I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off, but now that they pushed it back, that'll give me a chance to actually enjoy the game more when it comes out and stuff. So I don't
Me
care.
fancy.
I don't care.
I don't care that my most anticipated game of the year got pushed back again.
I mean, it's not my most anticipated game of the year, but
It was my most anticipated game of the year, but now
it
it's
was mine.
Yeah.
You know.
And now it might be my most anticipated game of next year, depending on what happens. So,
or your most anticipated game of 2077. We'll see.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, it's unfortunate, but I think I don't have any doubt that the game is not going to be really good. Like I'm pretty certain that it's going to be great. And
Are you trying
just
to jinx it, Ben?
no, just from the stuff from the people who have played it, and from what they've said, and from the things I've read about it, it sounds like it's on track to be pretty good. So I'm not super worried about it being bad. I just want it to actually come out, so we can play it.
I actually respect usually when developers push back games, because it usually means that they're trying to make it good,
Right.
Yeah.
and I do appreciate that. I would rather have them delay a game a little bit to get it right than put out a crappy product that is super buggy and stuff.
And
so
I mean, a great example of that, and I think I might have mentioned this before, was actually the whole No Man's Sky release situation, because they promised a lot of things. They released an unfinished product of the game. They faced a ton of hatred and flack for it. And since they've redeemed themselves as a company, they've done an excellent job with that game now, and better. I mean, more than anybody could have asked for. From that developer. I mean, I would not have blamed them if they had just disappeared off the face of the planet and never talked to anybody again. But they were super cool about it. They've done a great job with the game, and they're still updating it to this day. But I don't want people to be in that situation where they have to do that. So the better they can make it off the bat, the better it's going to be. So
Well, that's the thing too. Yeah, because like No Man's Sky, I feel like is a blip. I mean, there was like a 7-person company that tried to undertake this massive game, which is ridiculously huge now, and they just announced the next gen upgrade is coming out soon for it,
which is awesome. I love that they're doing that.
Yeah, but
That's
then
cool.
you have, I don't know, I just hope it doesn't set a precedent for like companies now to start doing that all the time. Like, when they did like the Sonic movie, and they're like, oh, look at how crappy this design is, and then
hey,
now,
let's fix it.
Yeah, like let's fix it after the fact. That way we can seem like we're appealing, because I feel like Fallout 76 is like an example of the bad thing, like a AAA title from a AAA studio that's like fundamentally broken and not done. Yeah. And they're like, well, it's better now than it used to be, and I have to respect them for that. Or even like Battlefront 2 when it was coming out, and it was like
they made a lot of improvements to that game, and
But it's like, should we have to wait for you guys to do that, or shouldn't you just release a good game and say, listen, this is the core game, and we're going to be updating it as best as we can as we go, instead of releasing a game that doesn't work? I mean, we even have like games like Anthem, which still hasn't been updated, and there's rumors.
That was
the unfortunate.
Fixed, but
that's a little bit of a different situation with BioWare, because they're kind of a mess right now in general, which is unfortunate, because BioWare used to be one of my favorite developers. So Anthem was that was sad. I was really excited about that game, and then it was just awful.
I never got excited about that game ever since like they released the trailers and everything. I looked at it, I was like, man, this just does not look that good.
The concept was great to me, but I think that's what got me excited, was the concept of the game.
I was excited. I just was hesitant, and I'm glad that I waited. Unlike another game, which I just didn't buy, which was Fallout 76.
Yeah, same. I also did not buy that game because I heard.
Could you imagine if you had spent like even just a regular amount of money?
Yeah.
Or you buy a deluxe edition.
I bought the deluxe frickin' edition.
Dude, was that like $80?
It was like $90.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That makes my heart sad. It makes my heart sad.
That was literally the most disappointing game I've ever bought in my life. I was so excited for that game.
See,
I was so excited for that game. They hurt me.
For me, that was No Man's Sky.
They hurt me.
Yeah, but like No Man's Sky's not a AAA title, so
No, it's not. Which, but I was still that disappointed because I was so excited because of the stuff they showed. And now I love that game. It's one of my favorite games that's been released in the last decade.
See, and I've had some people say, "Oh yeah, Fallout 76 is really good now."
I doubt it. I doubt
Man,
it.
I had somebody tell me it was really good. They're like, "You should play it." And then somebody was like, "Just make sure when you walk into somebody's like house that you run away real fast before it like renders on top of you."
Oh
and then you can go to their
See,
so I was like,
so,
no,
yeah, it's
that's
not good. It's
I shouldn't need to worry about that.
Yeah,
No.
If they
exactly.
fix the game, I shouldn't need to worry about things like that. That's just
apparently it still crashes a lot too and stuff. But
Bethesda
I just
hurt me really badly with that game.
Yeah, I just can't imagine. I mean, I remember when people were like, "Dude, you got to get this game," and I was like, I'm gonna wait. I don't know about this."
Dude, I was man.
I just couldn't believe it.
See,
The concept of that game was fantastic. Everything that they talked about that game, it sounded so good.
10 times the detail.
Yeah,
4 times the size.
I love MMOs, and I refuse to pick that up because I heard so many terrible things about it. I was
you haven't even played Fallout, have you, Ben?
No, I have. I played Fallout 4, and
you played Fallout 4?
Yeah, but it was a long time ago when it closer when it first came out. And I played Fallout.
Never played a Fallout game.
He
didn't even know which one it was.
I played Fallout New Vegas as well.
Did you though?
I did.
Did you? I don't know. Kind of sus.
You can be sus if you want, but no, I enjoyed that, but I feel like Bethesda has never been my favorite game company. I mean, I've played virtually every single version of Skyrim there is, but besides that, it's not the best. But Fallout 76 was just seemed like a big disappointment to a lot of people, and I was like, that doesn't seem like it's worth the time or the money.
Certainly wasn't. No, and I didn't spend any money on it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, right.
Yeah, that was very wise of you guys. So
just hope that they can. Let's just hope that Elder Scrolls 6 is better.
That I mean, if Elder Scrolls 6 is bad, then it's time to just cut Bethesda from our lives altogether.
But hopefully, they said it's owned by Microsoft. Maybe they'll do better. Although now Todd Howard is saying that it's probably not going to be an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's going to be. So,
but it's weird because you're like, somebody said that it was, and then somebody said it wasn't. But I also
it's easy for those rumors to get floated around and stuff. If they got bought out by Xbox, I'm sure there's a lot of people that were just saying, "Oh, it could be an Xbox exclusive because it was bought by by Microsoft." So,
I feel like stuff like that is said all the time, and we're not sure how much validity there is.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm trying to. Is there? Do you have the statement pulled up for Cyberpunk 2077, Mike?
Well, I can have it pulled up
because I have it pulled up right now. I
what?
Got it.
Did you just ask me if I had it pulled up and then pull it up?
Yeah. I wanted you to do it, but it's fine. I got it.
I can do it. I got it right.
No,
here.
it's fine. It's fine.
No, it's fine. Just sorry you asked me. I already got it.
All right. You go ahead.
No, you can read it.
Okay. So they said in this important statement that they released, "Hey everyone, today we've decided to move the release date of Cyberpunk 2077 by 21 days. The new release date is December 10th. Most likely, there are many emotions and questions in your heads. So first and foremost, please accept our humble apologies. The biggest challenge for us right now is shipping the game on current gen, next gen, and PC at the same time, which requires us to prepare and test 9 versions of it. That is a lot of versions.
Dude.
That is a lot of versions. While working from home. Since Cyberpunk 2077 evolved towards almost being a next-gen title somewhere along the way, we need to make sure everything works well and every version runs smoothly. We're aware it might seem unrealistic when someone says that 21 days can make a difference in such a massive and complex game, but they really do." So that's basically the nutshell of what is going on with it. So we feel we have an amazing game on our hands and are willing to make every decision, even in the hardest ones, if it ultimately leads to you getting a video game you'll fall in love with. So
I respect that.
Yeah.
That's that I want more developers to be like that focused on making a game that people will love, because
Yeah.
in the end, everybody wants to get like hours and hours out of that $60 that they spend. I mean,
exactly.
The best games, you don't even feel like you spent the money because you get so much enjoyment from it.
Yeah.
I feel like, and I'm hoping that's the type of game it is, and I think that's what they're striving to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely seems that way.
Yeah. I mean, they're a good company. They make really good games. I don't want to doubt them, and I feel like it'd be almost better to delay a game to make sure that it's good than to do the opposite, which is just release a broken game and be like, oh, we'll get to it eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, that almost feels lazy,
Well, it is lazy. People don't want that either. I mean, they don't want to spend $60 on a game that doesn't really live up to the expectations
or
that have
90.
been set. Yeah, or 90.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, like I said, I'm fine with it being pushed out and stuff, so it doesn't really bother me. I mean, that gives me more chance to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla when it comes out. So
does that come out November?
November 10th, I think.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember if that came out in November.
So super hyped for that game. I can't freaking wait.
And then you got Cold War as well. So Zombies is going to be taking up a lot of time.
I think Cold War and Valhalla both come out in the same week, so that's gonna be a spicy week. Very spicy week.
Got your single player experience, and then pretty much just zombies.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys might not even see me on Cold War. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll be gone in Valhalla.
I'd be surprised if you saw me on Cold War.
I mean, you're not.
You better be there.
You're not going to see me in the multiplayer. I can tell you that. You might see me in zombies. But
Zombies is sounding really good. They released a lot of information about it this week. And
if the Zombies is good, I think that'll be worth the game price alone.
Yeah,
the Zombies lives up to the hype that they've set. So
that's how they get you.
They released a bunch of information about it this weekend. I mean, most of the information it sounds pretty cool. A lot of the changes that they're making and stuff to it.
You see, there's armor plates now instead of the shield.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. That's like the one thing that I'm like,
very interesting.
Because they did kind of an armor system for World War II zombies, and I wasn't a big fan of it. So hopefully they'll improve on it and make it better for this game. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting things that they're doing. They're kind of making it almost like they're trying to add kind of like an RPG type system to it almost, and it sounds kind of cool. So you can kind of like level yourself up and make yourself more powerful and do some of that type of stuff. In some ways, it's kind of like Ghost of Tsushima Legends, what they're doing with that multiplayer mode.
When does that raid come out?
It came out last night.
Oh, it came out. Okay, I want to play that.
Yeah, you need to level up though before you can play it. You need to be level 100. What level do you have to?
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
How long does it take to get to level 100?
It wouldn't take that long. It wouldn't take that long. Right. You just need to actually play it with me.
I had fun that one time we played. So.
I mean, Ben, you got to stop abandoning your friends. That's really what we're trying to say. Yeah. This is actually an intervention. This whole podcast is a ruse to help Ben stop abandoning his friends.
Yeah. Wow. That's the whole point of this podcast at the end of the day. Just to bring back Ben.
Just to draw Ben out of his cave.
Bring Ben back. Ben is back.
Bring Ben out of his cave and fill his belly full of explosives. Speaking of which.
Wow.
Speaking of explosives in a belly. We don't want to spoil anything.
We don't want to spoil anything. But
but we do have a lot of explosives in the bellies coming very
Mandalorian
soon.
season 2, episode 1 dropped yesterday.
9. Yeah.
Speaking of belly issues.
He's drinking coffee, Ben. Do you not even look at anything that anybody does?
Wow,
Ben.
Wow, Ben. Wow. That's fine.
Wow.
No, I was actually talking about Mandalorian when I said that because, Mandalorian's just kind of like,
how would you know? Yeah, you're saying it's you haven't even seen it.
How would you know? You haven't watched it. You haven't watched it. You can't say it's not good if you didn't watch it.
Because it's Star Wars and it's on Disney Plus. So.
No, listen, that is not fair. It's run by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Josiah doesn't know anything. I'm just
shooting shit right now because I'm just trying to stir the pot. So
Josiah doesn't even know anything about Dave Filoni because he hadn't seen the animated series, so he doesn't.
All I know is that guy wears a cowboy hat. That's all I know.
Dude, Dave Filoni's a freaking legend. He is a legend.
I mean, if he wears a cowboy hat, he has to be a little bit cool. At least.
He's awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah.
So is Jon Favreau.
Doesn't he like hang out on the ranch with George Lucas and
he was like George
making
Lucas's
breakfast or something?
I mean, I don't know about that, but he was like George
certainly does
Lucas's.
something with George
I'm pretty
Lucas.
sure he like makes him like omelets in the morning or something and serves him in bed or something like that.
Gives him a little-
That's what I heard at least, but
Give him
Wow,
a
I don't
sweet
know
kiss on
where
the
you're
cheek
hearing
in the
this,
morning.
but anyway, Mike, non-spoiler thoughts of season 2, chapter 9, episode 1.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
I really like season 1. I was hoping that season 2 would improve on season 1 because one of the things my biggest complaint was I thought the 37-minute episodes were too short. It almost felt like a sitcom with not sitcom like storylines. I feel like I needed more time and
to marinate on the characters and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and this season seems like they have longer episodes. I was really happy because I thought the concept was going to be a little too big if they didn't have more time, and I was super happy to see that it was like 54 minutes long. And for those that haven't seen it and that are Star Wars fans, not there is a huge spoiler at the end.
Yes.
That,
Huge spoiler at the end.
Super excited me. I thought had great implications, and I think sets up Star Wars as a series in The Mandalorian for a long time. That I don't know, it just sets up a lot of things of like, oh wow, if this is the case, then they have a lot of places they could go with this. So yeah, I'm kind of pumped. I'm really excited to see where they go with it, and I like Star Wars on Disney Plus more than I like Star Wars in the films right now.
And I agree. I think that they did a really good job bringing the characters back and making it just as engaging and enjoyable as the first time around. Because I feel like that's always a difficult place with shows and going into their second season, as a lot of the time the second season kind of hits this rut and it's like not as good. Yep. Yeah, and I feel like they improved upon everything they built in the first season with this first episode. And it's just the first episode, but there's so many things that they did better just in this first episode. So that's great. And I really like the first season a lot. I think it's great, but if they can continue improving upon it in the second season as they continue, that's everything I want to see. And I thought the cast was great. I really liked some of the new characters that were introduced as well. So it was really, really fun.
I hate to say it, but I agree with Ben.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and I do shocking. I do like that they're really digging into that like Western vibe.
Yeah.
As well. I love that. It's
speaking
great.
of Dave Filoni and cowboy hats.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And ranches.
Oh no.
Western.
And serving George Lucas omelets in the morning,
Oh no. Oh no.
But yeah, no, that's cool. I'll have to give it a shot sometime and see what I think. So I don't know, Star Wars just isn't something that really just pulls me in. I don't know. Like Star Wars has never been something that I just get super crazy over. So
it's unfortunate.
Except for Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith is god tier film.
Well,
yeah,
it's not, but amazing. We won't talk about that.
So yeah, I'll have to check it out one of these days and see what I think. But yeah.
It was good. It was good.
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
All they have right now is just basically just The Mandalorian.
That's their
claim to fame right now. But
I mean, there's a lot of other shows that people like that are on there, like High School Musical, the musical. Oh yeah, that's huge. They're one of their other originals.
I don't know, Ben. I
think sometimes you just say things and you hope that it'll be true if you say them really loud.
It is.
You say it enough.
I have literally never heard a single human being in my life talk about they love High School the Musical on Disney Plus.
Maybe it's just the people I know.
High School Musical, the musical.
Yeah, like oh my goodness! Like I've never heard people just going around raving about that. I don't know what kind of fruitcakes you hang out with, Ben, but
all of them.
But wow.
All of them. Yeah.
But hopefully in the near future we'll get some better shows on Disney Plus besides the High School the Musical thing, including hopefully in the near future the Oscar Isaac will hopefully be in this Moon Knight thing that's going to be coming out.
Yeah.
So that was just announced this week.
It's very exciting.
That it's a possibility that Oscar Isaac might be playing Moon Knight for the Moon Knight TV series that is going to be coming to Disney Plus.
I think he's in serious talks.
Serious talks.
Yep.
To play Jewish superhero in Moon Knight.
Yep.
So I didn't know that he was a Jewish superhero, but now I do.
Moon Knight is cool.
Yeah. So
I'm excited.
I mean, I don't think that they really have any other details about that at this point. I think it's just pretty much just been.
I knew it was announced, but that was like it, and I think this casting is the first thing we've heard. From it. So
I don't think that they really have announced anyone else really.
No.
So we got that going on over at Disney Plus. Also at Netflix right now, they just announced they're working on a live action Assassin's Creed adaptation on Netflix, which I'm actually pretty excited about that. After what they did with The Witcher, I think that they have proven that they can take video games and make really good adaptations out of them.
Yeah.
So even though The Witcher obviously was also a book series as well, so maybe that was kind of helpful for that. But but hopefully Netflix will be able to prove their mettle once again with doing this Assassin's Creed adaptation.
I hope so. I hope it just doesn't turn out like the movie. That's all I want.
Yeah,
I don't see that happening.
I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest.
No. I think if you watch the movie and then you go like, let's not do that.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah.
Sorry. Keep going.
All right.
Go ahead,
I mean, you sound a little lyric about it, Ben.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think
your hot take. Let's get Ben's hot take, everybody.
Not a hot take. I'm more concerned because once again, it's difficult. I feel like that's a difficult idea and concept to bring to film or television. I feel like it's just not exactly
Assassin's Creed?
Yeah. With the Animus and everything, like for example, in the movie, they spent way too much time focusing on, like the whole Animus system and everything else. And it was really weird. And it wasn't exactly like the video games. And like a lot of the stuff people want to see, I feel like, is the stuff where you're with the main character back in the time period that they're going to.
Yes.
And I just want to see more of that type of stuff and less time, like introduce the Animus, tell us what it does, and then give us like the whole series set in whatever time period, and then with occasional flashbacks or something. I don't know.
I'm not like a big fan of the whole Animus stuff of the Assassin's Creed story anyway. Like every time that they start talking about the Animus or bring it up, I just kind of like roll my eyes and stuff, and I'm like, just put me back in time again. I don't really care. So it would be kind of, I mean, I don't know. They probably wouldn't do this because it unfortunately is such a big part of the story. But I think it would be really cool if they just kind of like pretended the whole Animus thing wasn't real at all, and they just.
I don't think they'll do that. It's too big of a part of the story.
So,
yeah, I mean, they could do it. They could do it without the Animus, because they could just focus on the whole, Assassin's Creed. Brotherhood type stuff and really just build off of that. But I guess if they did use the Animus, that would give them more freedom to do like a bunch of different time periods and kind of connect them all and stuff. So that's probably why they'll probably keep the Animus, but yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I got a little bit of a hot take here.
All right. Let's hear it.
All right.
I kind of hope that they do include the Animus, because my thing is I didn't start disliking the Animus until like Black Flag. The first game, like when you play it for the first time and you're in the Animus, like it is really cool to play Altair, and it's really fun. But like one of the cool parts of the game too was like as you start discovering like mysteries within like the office and stuff. Like there was a lot of political intrigue in the first game as far as like why are you in the Animus and what's going on and stuff. And then like the second game kind of expounded on that and like, oh, there's like also like all of the stuff in the past affects the future and how our past affects our future and how we need to learn from our past to learn about our future. I think there's a lot of like a wealth of stuff that you can do with that.
Right.
But the thing that was, I think the hard part for me, the part where the Animus stopped becoming important, and I didn't like it as much as when you started like, it was just a random dude in the Animus. Like versus Desmond, like you're like okay, like who's this random dude? They're like, don't worry, you're just a random employee. Isn't that fun? And you're like, nah, I'd rather just be a pirate.
Yeah.
And they're like, but I think that they could do a good job of, and I think they could do well if they actually included like a character in the narrative outside of the Animus, instead of it just being like a random dude in it.
Right.
Yeah, I think if they follow more of what they did for at least the first 2 games, where you're Ezio and
Ezio.
If they did, like, if they followed those 2 games closely, sorry, I don't have my pronunciations right. It's fine. I think if they followed those 2 games more closely, not even just the same story, but the idea behind those 2 games, it'd be a lot better than if they continued with the further titles in the franchise. Because I think it's not that I disliked 3. I think the quality started to dip at 3, and then I haven't played like the last 2.
Assassin's Creed kind of went through kind of like a Call of Duty type phase where they were just putting out kind of crappy games, and they were just trying to shove out as many as possible pretty much, and not really focusing on trying to tell good stories and stuff. I think they've kind of gotten over that a little bit. I haven't played Odyssey or Origins, but I hear
Origins is really good.
I hear that they're pretty good games and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the Assassin's Creed community necessarily feels about them, because I heard that they kind of took a departure a little bit from how the old games were kind of played and stuff a little bit. They kind of went more RPG type style,
which I like.
Which is fine with me. I like RPG style more anyway. But yeah, so I guess we'll just see what happens with it. I hope that I think it would be kind of cool if they had like one or maybe like a small group of kind of main characters, so then they kind of like went to different times and stuff with them, and kind of like did a bunch of different kind of like weave a bunch of different timelines together and stuff, and do some of that type of stuff. I think that'd be really cool. Do you guys think that do you think that they're just gonna kind of like try to adapt some of the main games and stuff, like the original 3, or do you think they're gonna kind of do their own spin on it?
I think they're gonna do their own thing.
Yeah, I think it would be kind of weird to do Ezio. I mean, we've already seen so much of his story. But I mean, there's a wealth. I mean, because there was also the other characters are in the game. Like, I don't know, it might be kind of cool to do an offshoot of the game or set it in the same universe as the game, but not use Desmond or his ancestors story necessarily. Plus, I mean, they already have like a superstar in it, because Kristen Bell is in the first and second game, and that was before she like really got super popular. But like, I mean, just having her name attached to a project would draw people in. I know that as a fan of the series, I would love to see that character return. And so I think there's a lot of potential there for sure, but I think it'd be a misstep for them to try to do Ezio's story again.
Or just Desmond in general and his ancestors.
Yeah, it might be kind of cool to hear stuff about it, or maybe if you really want to do it, like have Ezio make a cameo. I mean,
set in
like
the same universe.
Assassin. Yeah. But like, as far as following his story, no, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd be that interested in seeing that again.
Yeah. So I agree. I think it would be kind of cool if they kind of did their own thing, and I mean, there's endless possibilities of what you could do in the Assassin's Creed universe and stuff. So
the Animus is one of the things that helps with that, I think.
That's true.
It gives the ability to do a lot of that stuff with the story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's very true. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, like I said, I was a big fan of The Witcher, and I think that overall Netflix does a really good job with their series and stuff.
With their originals.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, I guess as far as I don't know, like I really want to. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen with Valhalla, because I hear some mixed things about it and stuff.
Yeah. Have people started reviewing that yet, or no? Has the embargo not lifted just yet?
I don't think so. I don't think there's any
been
reviews.
Some early access, but I don't think there's any reviews.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful.
It does. It does. I mean, from everything that I've seen about the game, like all the information that's out there about it, with all the RPG type elements to it and stuff. It looks really cool and stuff. It looks like there's a lot of crap you can do in that game. So that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
So,
I mean, I know it's going to be right up your alley with all the Norse mythology and stuff. I know you're going to love that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, some of the history type stuff annoys me a little bit because it's kind of it's a Hollywood version of it in a lot of ways and stuff. But so I got to kind of get past that a little bit, and just kind of like focus on it just being a video game, I guess. But
I think the thing I was most excited about for it was I was surprised in Odyssey how they actually did like the actual like Greek mythology and stuff, and even though it's their take on it, like it was still cool. So I was like excited when they're like Vikings. I was like, I hope it's not just Vikings. I hope they actually delve into like the lore behind it and like actually get into like mythology and stuff, because I think that's I think it's like untapped. I think we hear a lot about it, and like, but we really like rarely ever get to see like Norse mythology like play out in front of us or like play out
in the video game and stuff.
So
which is why you need to play God of War.
Yes,
because God
of War is very good.
All about Norse mythology, and it is fantastic. No, which is why you need to get a PlayStation.
Is it on PC? Is it on PC?
No. Which is why you need to get a PlayStation.
It's a PlayStation original, Mike. Specifically,
it's so good. It is so good.
I mean,
specifically though, this new God of War is Norse. Yeah, because the other ones are not. The previous 3, I believe, are not Norse mythology at all. Yeah, I think they're Greek or Roman. Greek. Are they Greek?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy a PlayStation,
Mike. But then you could play God of War, you could play Horizon Zero Dawn, you could play Uncharted, you could play all these different games that are originals that people love, and we love.
Incredible games. Ghost of Tsushima is
that's another PlayStation original. Just Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, you're missing out, man. You're missing out.
Final Fantasy VII Remake is on Xbox, Ben.
Is it on Xbox?
Oh my gosh, Ben.
That's just Halo. You can only play Halo on PlayStation.
I'm just spitting stuff out here, man. I just want you to get a PlayStation.
I'm not gonna buy a PlayStation. It's just not gonna happen.
You should, man.
Well, we were playing Call of Duty with a gentleman the other day. He's a friend of my brother, and he was like, "Man, I'm so glad to be getting off this Xbox train. I got my PlayStation 5 coming in the mail in 2 weeks," and I was like,
a true gentleman.
Boy. That is my boy
right there.
So he's getting rid of a console to get an inferior console in the next gen that we just talked about is going to be inferior compared to the Xbox.
No, Mike, he's getting the console that's going to have. He's getting the console that's going to have better games.
Like what?
Like Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh wow, one game. Thanks.
Yeah,
how many exclusives does PlayStation have coming out in the beginning when it first comes out?
Probably quite a few, and it's got Miles Morales.
Not many.
Probably
not
a lot,
many.
to be honest.
PlayStation is
probably like
so
thousands or something. I don't know.
Thousands.
Honestly,
it has 1,000 games coming out for it when it first comes out. Josiah.
Thousands of games.
But if you got a PlayStation 5, then
you could play those other titles.
Go back and play some of those other games that they release and stuff.
Can
like
you?
God of War. Yes, you can.
Because
that expensive. It's not.
I can go back and play any game that's ever come out for an Xbox with my Xbox Series X.
But
any game.
None of those games are God of War or The Last of Us or.
That's true, but
like
I mean, I can also go back and play things like the first Halo game or.
Still isn't as good as any of the games that we listed.
But are they?
Mike, I love those games, but I disagree that those games are anywhere close to some of the originals that have been released for PlayStation.
Now,
the PlayStation exclusives are a true experience of gaming.
They really are.
Like The Last of Us 2.
That is, Mike. I mean, I think that game's a masterpiece. But
I haven't been the one that's mentioned The Last of Us 2. I'm not.
But to be fair, Josiah hasn't mentioned that. He only mentioned the first one, but he also hasn't played the second one. So
yeah, and I'm not going to.
He doesn't have an opinion on it. Yeah, so it's
crazy how we just carpet bombed me with all of these exclusives, and it hasn't changed my mind at all.
Well,
it's almost like I'm missing out on
There's also the Spider-Man game that you can play as well. That's a PlayStation exclusive, but. I've even heard from from your own lips that you wish that you could play it and stuff. So
I do wish I could play it. Yeah. But I'm not going to buy a PlayStation to play it.
Well, maybe when I upgrade to the PS5,
I'll give
you my PS4 and you can try some of them out.
Or we could do a video where I shoot it with a gun. and then save the world from
Mike.
more
Can't
PlayStation
why
games.
be open-minded? Just have both.
I'm being
consoles.
super open-minded. I
See,
play
the thing
Xbox.
is that I'm actually pretty open-minded. I'm going to be getting both consoles.
I definitely want the new Xbox
so.
at some point, especially so I can play the new Halo. I'm determined to get it for that.
You know, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be one of these console snobs or anything. I'm going to be a very open-minded individual, a true gentleman, as you would put it. And I'm going to be getting both consoles and
checking out all games.
Yeah, then I'll be able to play everything. Everything.
But
exactly, Mike.
You just argued why I should get a PlayStation.
We did because
I'll be able to play Avowed on Xbox, which is one of my most hyped games.
We didn't say it was better. We said that there are better exclusives.
Yeah, there's a big difference. We could argue consoles all day. We could argue.
I'm not saying the console's better because I don't specifically know which one's technically a better console. I just know which one has the games that I like better.
Yeah,
and that is what it is. But I mean, I also love Halo, so I need the new Xbox at some point.
Regretted having an Xbox and not being able to play your PlayStation exclusives.
Well,
not once. Well, not once have I regretted it.
You know,
sometimes I'm like, it'd be nice to play Spider-Man, but apparently it's not coming out. So
I think it's because you don't know very much about the exclusives, Mike.
True. No, I know a lot. I'm just not interested in buying a PlayStation.
Yeah, but
but
it's just unfortunate that we'll never be able to get him to see the light.
I think if I handed my PlayStation 4 and be like,
and just give it to him.
Well, if somebody walked up to my door and was like, "Hey, man, you want this free console?" I'd be like, "Sure, I'll take it." Doesn't mean I'm going to play it. I mean, I'll be like, "Oh, cool."
Okay, well, if he gives you a PlayStation 4, you better play the games because that's a free console.
Dude,
reason not to.
PlayStation 4 is loaded with all of these different exclusives.
I'll play them and I'll be like, "Wow, I'm so glad I got to play these games." But I can't wait to get back to my Xbox.
Will. That is exactly what you'll be like.
And I'll be like, I really wish I could go back to my Xbox.
Dude,
though.
I can't imagine having never played Horizon Zero Dawn because it was one of my favorite gaming experiences of my life. And I literally, I would be sad if I knew that I'd never played that game.
And yet,
if I could go back in time,
not sad.
If I could go back in time and erase the game from my memory.
Why am I listening to you, Ben? You said that Civil War was one of the worst Marvel movies of all time.
Okay.
I don't want to hear your opinion about anything.
Mike, we're not going to change the subject here. Okay.
We're not going to change the
subject.
subject.
You don't have to change the subject. I didn't change the subject. I said I don't have to listen to Ben. Listen, Ben, you can't convince me of anything.
Michael, if I could have gone back in time.
Benjamin.
And erase Horizon Zero Dawn from my memory and play it again just to experience it again, I absolutely would do that. Because it was an incredible experience.
Go back and erase any memory of Horizon Zero Dawn ever existing, I would, and it wouldn't change my life at all because I still don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, well.
Geez, even God of War
is literally my favorite game of all time.
Like,
incredible. It is so freaking good. The father-son story in that is just like, gets you. It gets you, man. Gets you right there. It's so good.
I feel it inside.
It has everything you'd want in a game. It has a great father-son story. It has
some of the monsters are
brutal battles
sweet.
And stuff,
wow.
and you just tear people apart. It is
that
so good.
Sounds amazing.
It's so good.
It sounds
so good.
Norse mythology on top of all of that.
So
what more do you want in a game?
For it to not be on PlayStation.
Oh my gosh.
So what you're telling me is that you will never play some incredible games just because it's not on Xbox.
Because I'm not going to buy a PlayStation.
But what if I give you my PlayStation?
Then I'll take your PlayStation and I'll play the games and be like, wow, that was a nice experience. I'm glad I did that, but I'm glad I didn't have to give Sony any of my money.
Why would you not? But
did Sony like hurt you when you were a kid?
Yeah, what did Sony do to you, Mike?
I loved the original PlayStation. I loved all the games on that console. It was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed it.
The dark side along the way.
When the first Xbox came out, and I was like, wow, this console's way better than the PlayStation.
Man, I've never been someone that's focused on just the consoles. I don't know.
Yeah, the console doesn't matter to me. The games are what matter.
And yet you own the PlayStation.
Yeah, because the game, I never liked the games as much. I've had an Xbox 360. I haven't had an Xbox One, or is that one the next one?
Yeah,
I don't remember how many there have been.
I
haven't done that, but I have seen the games that come out, and I've been like, okay, I'm not a huge. Doesn't look super interesting. And but if I wasn't able to play the game, I'd go watch someone play the entire game. And I watch a whole playthrough so I could at least get some sort of flavor for what it was like.
Flavor.
So and
Flavor.
yeah, flavor, Mike. Flavor.
And I can watch all of those games,
But
on my Xbox.
I do want the new Xbox because there are some games coming out this year that look very, very cool to me.
I absolutely will be getting both consoles.
And that's the first time I felt that way. I didn't feel that way about the Xbox One, but
If
okay.
Xbox One released even one game that remotely looked amazing, like the PlayStation exclusives, I probably would have gotten it.
Yeah.
But they just didn't.
Because I don't want to sacrifice a great game because I don't want to get another console or I don't want to have the other console. Like I just want the experience of the game, and if I have to get a different console for that, then I'll do it.
What is one Xbox One exclusive that was so amazing,
incredible, that people just would not stop talking about? That one game of the year, because I guarantee it didn't.
Gears of War.
Gears of War didn't win game of the year.
Okay, well,
I'm going to tell you right now, Nintendo and Sony have been the biggest winners there.
True.
Okay.
True. Nintendo needs to release some
Nintendo's made some bangers in the past. They're a great company.
Yeah, well, they're outselling everybody. So,
but once again, Nintendo was the only time I didn't buy a Nintendo console was the Wii U, because there wasn't anything specifically came out that I was super, super excited about. However, when the Switch came out, I wanted Breath of the Wild. I wanted Smash Brothers Ultimate. There was all these games that came out. I was like, I have to get this console, so I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. And I don't know.
Done yet?
Are
we done now?
No, Mike is he's done. He's tired of this conversation. We've been grilling him about Xbox and PlayStation for the last 15 minutes. He's like, nah. But Mike, I will be emotionally moved by all these games I play here in the next year, and I'll be thinking of you when I play them and realizing that you won't get to experience that greatness, and it'll make me sad.
I will be praying that you stop thinking about me when you do anything.
That's okay, Mike. It's okay.
I'm glad that me playing Xbox and
emotionally moved
and owning an Xbox makes you guys think about me so much.
See, but Mike,
I'm touched.
But I'll also be thinking about you when I'm playing those Xbox exclusives as well, because I'll be like, wow, Mike can be playing this too, and that's great. That makes me feel good that Mike is able to play this and experience this. But then I'll be sad again because then I'll realize that you don't get to experience all these other great games. Then
you being sad makes me less inclined to buy a PlayStation. It makes me not even want to accept Josiah's free PlayStation.
Wow.
Just so I know that Ben somewhere is sad.
Oh my goodness.
So all of the hard work that you just put into this conversation is all gone now because I get to think about how sad Ben is.
Good job, Ben. You just made the house of cards fall.
I'll not even buy the new Xbox. I'll just buy a Switch and I'll play that by myself.
You should buy the Switch.
I'll just buy the Switch, and I won't. And I'll think about, wow, Ben's probably so sad that I'm not playing any Xbox or PlayStation games right now.
Now, if you don't want either, then I'm just not gonna be sad at all. I'm not gonna care at that point.
Well, no, I have to just buy an Xbox. I was gonna buy one.
You've already pre-ordered it, or maybe you haven't.
I don't know. Maybe not.
I'm not going to give you any more info about my life than you already have.
Speaking of info about life, we have one more very, very exciting story to talk about.
Dude, this was so hype.
This was probably the most exciting thing that happened this entire week.
Oh, yeah, dude.
For me, as far as news goes. But NASA announced this week the discovery of, wait for it,
drum roll, please.
Water
in the sunlit parts
of the moon.
How freaking amazing is that?
Mike, if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what does.
Seriously, that is incredible news. That is absolutely
that's so cool.
Incredible. That there is freaking water on the moon. I want moon water now. Forget Fiji. Forget,
Dude, moon water is the best.
Everything
probably.
Else, I don't care anymore. The only water that I want in my life is moon water.
And moon water probably gives you superpowers or something.
Oh my goodness, probably.
It'd be super cancer.
or super cancer. But you know what, Mike? At least I'll have drank some moon water.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I would absolutely accept super cancer just to taste
some
moon water.
And when you guys are dying from super cancer from your moon water, I'll take your PlayStations and burn them to stop the world from getting them.
Wow, that would not be very respectful of our memory, but
Well, then you
okay.
probably shouldn't drink moon water.
Well, Mike,
Listen,
I
get it. It's exciting. Like, cool. There's water on the moon. But like,
Yeah.
You know what?
it's the moon. You can't live there. Like,
You notice
it's
how
frozen.
But it's
you notice
awesome.
how Mike has been very unenthusiastic about multiple things we've brought up about our world and our universe.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
sad, and it makes me sad.
Because it's 2020 and everything's bad. And I'd rather just escape from it all.
Yeah,
on
escape,
my Xbox.
escape from it all
or
thinking
in
about moon
movies.
water.
No, that's not escaping. You're talking about drinking moon water.
Yeah, because it's
Listen,
awesome.
I get it. You guys are excited. It is exciting. It's
Isn't it cool?
It's very cool.
It's a very
Yeah.
cool discovery.
It was cool when they were
Moon
like,
water.
look at this. This is the butthole of the black hole. Look at it, everybody. And everybody's like, wow, that's really cool. But what does it do for me? What
That's
has
awesome.
moon water ever done for me?
It allows you to see just how amazing this universe is that God created.
But it's moon water.
I mean, that's cool. There's freaking water on the moon.
It could be alien pee for all we know. Like an
if
alien.
it is, then that would be even cooler.
If it
I'm gonna
is, that'd
drink
be
this alien
sick.
pee. Give me some of that sweet, sweet alien pee.
I mean,
Literally,
this
sign me up.
year, literally this year, the Pentagon confirmed that there are like alien craft, like spacecrafts or something like that, the vehicles or
Yeah,
something
UFOs.
they have. Yeah.
Yep.
Like they literally confirmed that this year. So
Mhm.
isn't that awesome? Isn't that freaking awesome? That aliens
Sure.
could be coming to visit us soon and taking us over.
Heck
Or
yeah.
they just go, wow, those guys are really excited about drinking that moon water. We should just go to the other
Honestly,
planets.
I would absolutely be a slave to aliens, and I don't even care. Like I'd totally let them just take over our world and just rule us. To be honest, at this point,
Honestly, dude, I was
I'd be
thinking the
down
other
with that.
day,
I'd be down with that.
I sit there and I think about the world in its
Yeah.
state sometimes, and I'm like, you know what? I wish the dinosaurs were here. So, because then at least,
Mhm.
you know, like man versus wild, and we don't have to be fighting amongst ourselves anymore. We can just fight the dinosaurs.
Ben, do you want to fight a dinosaur?
I
I
want to
mean,
train
back when
some
the
freaking
dinosaurs were
dude.
around, there were tribes that were still killing each other. So that wouldn't change anything.
I'm about ready to train some dinos and take on the
But
world.
yes, I wish that there were more dinosaurs. I think that there's probably still dinosaurs out there somewhere, but
They're called
no.
turtles.
no.
And alligators.
No, I
What are
mean
you talking about?
there's
Real
literally like people
dinosaurs.
that continue to talk about like dinosaurs out there and stuff. Like the what is it over in the Congo River? There's like a lot of natives that talk about how they see kind of like dinosaur type creatures out there and stuff in the Congo swamps and stuff.
That's fair.
I don't remember what it's called, Mokele something, but it,
Nicole?
Moonbee or
yeah,
something.
definitely really cool stuff. You should look into that because it's really neat. A lot
Listen,
of that stuff over there.
I do think stuff like that is really cool. And if
Yeah.
they ever found a living dinosaur like that wasn't a tortoise, like I'd be pumped. I'd be super pumped. I just don't get excited about moon water. That's all.
And that's unfortunate, Mike, because moon water's really
know,
cool.
Or beetles running beetles over with cars
Dude,
to
those
find out how tough
beetles-
they are.
Dude, that beetle's
So, like, look at
one
that
of those
beetle over there.
just
I'm gonna run it over.
That
coolest
with
beetle
thing
is
in
an
the world.
absolute legend. Not
They're
gonna
like,
lie.
look, I'm gonna whack this beetle with a
Like,
stick, and it
that
doesn't do
beetle
anything.
is a
So-
mad lad.
Like it,
No.
and just think
Mad.
that's going to really benefit us and humans moving forward because then we can look at that, we can study how that beetle functions, how its shell works, and all that stuff, and we can learn from that, and we can apply it to stuff that we have.
And learn how to kill each other better. Like,
Mike, we
Listen.
need any help doing that, Mike?
well, we apparently do because we built nuclear weapons.
Well, yeah, but
And then we're gonna go
But-
steal all the aliens' moon water, and then they're gonna show us this other weapon that they have that we didn't know they had.
wow.
I don't want to be a slave to an alien. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't want to be. I don't want any alien telling me what
Mike
to do with my
Mike
life.
doesn't want to be probed. That's really
no,
all it is.
I'm not by aliens, Ben.
Are you sure, Mike?
But Mike,
Listen,
are you
Ben, I don't know
sure?
how you PlayStation users get your kicks.
Oh, so now
and
this
get
is
your
because
jollies.
of PlayStation.
Who do you think owns Who do you think owns Sony? Aliens.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yep.
I mean, Mark
Definitely.
Zuckerberg is an alien too. So
Yeah.
Dude, your cat's an alien.
true.
It's not actually a cat.
They
I'm
walk
just saying.
among us. They walk among us.
Listen. Maybe I'm an alien.
Mike,
Maybe that's
we are
why I like Xbox
literally
so much.
life is just a real life among us. That's just
True.
what we've determined here.
True.
And you're the most sus.
And you
of
just
all of
got to
them.
find the sus ones. That's all.
Yeah. Well, we
And
found
then
the
they'll
sus
take
one.
you and then they'll probe you and you'll have a good time.
So me saying that you're suspend is you saying that you want to try to probe me?
No, because I'm not an alien.
Mm,
But let's go to Area 51. We'll communicate a little bit and then we'll peace
well,
out.
listen. What? They had to have known there was moon on the water, like water.
Moon on the water?
Well, there's moon on the water. The moon affects the water bin.
But the cool thing about this is that they found water on the sunlit part of the moon.
Yeah.
That's the cool part about this. I mean, just think about
It's
what
so
could be
cool.
on the dark side of the moon. Like, who
Crazy.
knows?
Probably
Like, there could be a lot of crazy
probably-
stuff back there,
probably rocks.
hiding behind the curtains, just waiting to
Probably rocks.
reveal themselves.
And
Right.
apparently water, more ice. You find lots
mean,
of ice.
We are living in very exciting times right now as we continue
Clap
to discover
those moon
more stuff
cheeks.
that's out in space. Like, I'm always very fascinated about the idea of like all these planets out there that could be totally livable for us and stuff.
Yeah, if
But
we
they
can
just
figure
are
out
so
hyperspace
freaking
travel.
far away. They're just so
Yeah.
far away.
If we can figure out how to master dark energy and
But it makes you
travel through
wonder,
hyperspace.
like how cool would it be to be part of that pioneering expedition to go to one of these livable planets that are so far away, just to discover what's there.
dude, I don't
Like,
even
who
care.
knows what is over there? Like, that is so freaking cool.
Like, I literally don't even care if I get just murdered by some alien species. If I could go, count me in. Let's go.
Yeah, like a face hugger, just like latching on, and yeah, just
Why do you guys want to be enslaved and murdered by aliens?
Because, Mike, it's the experience that matters.
No, that's not a thing. If I break my leg, I don't go, man, I'm so glad I got this new life experience
Mike,
of getting my leg
that-
broken.
Death is
I'm
just
sure that you will not be, when a face hugger's sticking its big old member and pumping eggs down your throat, you're not going to go, man, I'm really glad I came here. I'm really
Mike,
glad that I got to experience this.
I probably
new
won't be,
thing.
but then I'll think back on it when I'm dead, and I'll be like, wow.
You can't
What a
think
time that was.
on things when you're dead, Ben. That's
Mike.
the point of
Just
being dead.
think about this, okay? To quote the great Gandalf himself, death is just another path, one that we all must take.
That's right.
But he came back after he died. He came back as a stronger wizard. He told everybody that, and then came back. You know who didn't quote say that? You know who didn't come up with that? Boromir. As he got arrow after arrow pummeled into his chest.
Yeah, but Mike, you know what he was thinking during that? Wow, I'm glad I had this experience.
Wow, I'm so glad I got to experience arrows in my chest. No, Ben, he didn't say that.
Oh,
You know
my
who else
goodness.
didn't say that? All of the dwarves in Moria that got murdered and destroyed and maimed. They were sad and they were scared. And I don't want to go. I don't want to go to some other planet to have some alien probing me and then stealing my moon water and then trying to convince me that PlayStation's a better console. I don't want to do it. I'm not on board. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I think Mike's a little upset.
Ben, I couldn't be more calm.
Oh, we
Josiah,
can't hear Josiah. We can't
I
hear
hear
you.
Josiah talking. Josiah just abandoned us all.
Oh, oops, sorry about that. I was just gonna say, but we also have to remember that Boromir, when he died, the gray curtain rolled back, and all turned to silver glass, and then Boromir could see it. So, the White Shores, he could see the White Shores.
Yeah.
So,
But he had to get arrows pumped into his chest. I don't want arrows.
hey,
in my chest.
sometimes that's just the way you gotta go, man. Sometimes you just get those arrows pumped into your chest.
Sometimes.
I mean, hey, if that's how I go out, then that's fine.
Listen,
That's
I
fine.
don't know what you guys' obsession is with these alien probings, but
Because, Mike, it's an experience.
man, there's a lot of things that I don't want to experience in life.
Same.
Like
True.
spending
True.
my hard-earned money on a PlayStation.
Wow.
But
I
sometimes
don't
you just
wanna
gotta look on the
experience it.
positive side, Mike. If you ever did get probed by an alien, just remember it's an experience, and that'll really help you get through it.
And you probably won't die. So
Well, guys, now we can all think about this. I want you to think about being probed by aliens and thinking this was an experience
I'll definitely think that.
yeah.
I'll definitely think that.
while you sip on your moon water.
As we
You're-
sip on our moon water.
Your $8.99 a bottle moon water.
Just think about that though. I mean, wouldn't it be really cool if like 50 years down the road, if we're all just like sipping on moon water and stuff, like that's the new Fiji water and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Like, wouldn't that be awesome? That'd be so cool.
Dude, moon water in stores now.
Yes.
Straight from the moon.
We got to figure out how we can build the
But
spacecraft. to
Not
get
only
here.
that, but water being on the moon opens up a lot of other possibilities as far as like
where
other
there's
things
water,
happening.
there's life. That's what they say.
Or where there's water, life can be made, or something
Made?
can be made. Like
Yeah.
like you can create artificial climates. Water's probably a sub part of that, right? I don't know science. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
I mean, crazy stuff.
Yeah, I mean they're already talking about doing that with Mars. So
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Mars is going to
They're
be
talking
the
about
next,
terraforming Mars.
Mars is literally going to be like the next America. Like that's where we're all going to be heading one day, and we're all
You
just
mean
going to
next
live there.
Earth?
Well, yeah, I was kind of thinking more of like the whole explorers going to America type thing. So
This is
America
how-
was like the last frontier, but
You
it's
guys
not
are
the
out of
last
control.
frontier because Mars is the next frontier.
The final frontier.
Mars probably won't even be the final frontier.
You guys
'Cause
are
after
out
that,
of
we got to
control.
think about all the
C07X 78
Yeah.
5 billion 5,000 million
Yeah.
will be the next.
That one
yeah.
will be the next frontier after that.
Once
so.
we figure out how to master dark energy and hyperspace travel, then we'll be great.
I
you
want
know?
to learn how to master dark energy. Let me tell you.
You guys
Heck
want to
yeah,
hear a
dude.
really crazy shit theory I read one time?
What's
What?
that?
That we originally were from Mars, and that's where humans came from. And we destroyed the planet, and then we moved to Earth because it was more habitable.
Hey
Who
man,
knows?
We're
Who knows?
basically doing the same thing. We're going to destroy this planet, and then we're going to move to Mars.
Maybe Mars was like the Garden of Eden.
Maybe we were on another planet, and we were just chilling there, and then we effed it all up with
Yeah.
our PlayStations and our anal probings. And then we came to Earth, and we're like, you know what? This place is pretty cool. Then we killed all the dinosaurs, and we took all their stuff, and then we used their bones to fuel our cars. And then we're like, you know what? We should go back to Mars. And everybody was like, this is a good idea.
that's because people are stupid, Mike.
Listen, Ben.
I mean, you're not
Just
wrong. You're not
You're
wrong.
not wrong.
Just saying. Let's. How many of these? You know what? We don't have time to get into this.
Ben,
We'll save
you
that
can
for
hold
another
thought.
Save this for another time, Mike.
yeah, because like I'm so fascinated by all that type of crap. So
Same, dude.
we'll have to
Listen,
talk
it
about
is
next-
fascinating.
next week.
It's cool. Listen, moon water's cool.
Because I got some of my own wild theories too. Let me tell you.
Oh, jeez. So next
I
week
got
is just
some-
going to be us throwing out our wild theories,
Yes.
and
Theorizing?
Ben's
Absolutely.
constantly talking about how exciting it would be to be probed by an alien.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down. I'm down for the experience. I'm ready.
Well, that's not a thing. That's not a thing.
Hashtag for the experience.
For
I'm
the
so- I'm
that's
so sorry for every single person listening that I talk about being probed by aliens.
So that's a good positive note to leave this episode on. We started off with some sad news, and we ended on some positive news about moon water and alien probing. So that's
Yes.
always a great thing. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming out to this week's episode. We appreciate it wherever you are listening to us or watching us or whatever else. We do appreciate it a lot. If you guys could please go to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to this episode and leave a review. We'd greatly appreciate that. And if you want to, you can also email us at, I'm trying to remember what our email is, EpicManVideos69, I think. Hold on a second here. Let me find this real quick. Yeah, EpicManVideos69@gmail.com. So if you want to, you can email us there and let us know about what you think about the show. If there's any ideas that you have for what we could talk about or whatever else, then let us know
Questions,
about that as well.
comments.
Questions, whatever else. If you have questions, we will read them on the podcast. So with that being said, thank you so much, everyone, for coming out, and we will talk to you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.